Today, the gospel reminds us of one of my favorite quotes that every experience God gives you and every person God puts in your life is a perfect part of His plan because He knows what lies ahead. And who said that? It'd be Corrine ten Boom. And who is she? Well, she's a Dutch woman that lived during the time of World War II. She, her sister, and her father helped many Jews escape the Nazi regime during World War II. They were later captured by the Nazis and thrown into a concentration camp. Her sister and father perished. However, she survived and suffered terribly while imprisoned. When the war was over, she was freed and went home. Churches from all over invited her to come share her experience and her faith because her faith was so deep and strong that it inspired people to hear her story and her experiences, and thus she became quite famous. The Germans invited her to come speak at their churches, but because she was so angry for what they had done to her family and to many of Jews, she resisted and did not go. But later on, she felt God was calling her to go and share the good news with the German people. So she decided to forgive them and went and shared her experience in their churches. And they were so inspired because they thought, if she can forgive us, then we now know that God has forgiven us. And many of those Germans became Christians. Corrine did not have an easy life, but she understood that her suffering and struggles were God's plan, and she knew that she had to serve God and go to Germany and talk to the German people. So that shows us that God needs our help to build His kingdom. Sometimes we too are faced with struggles, suffering, obstacles, but we still need to trust that God has a purpose for it all. While we may not understand it at the present time, down the road, when we look back, we may understand that it was all part of God's plan, just like Jesus said in today's gospel. So that God's kingdom is like a seed, in that it slowly grows until it blossoms fully. We don't know how it's going to grow,